Hey guys, welcome to Let's Talk Algorithms. This is Venkatesh, and today we'll be solving the problem subarray sum equals to k. This is a popular question, have been asked in multiple companies like Facebook, Amazon, and Bloomberg. The problem description states that given an array of integers and integer k, you need to find the total number of continuous subarrays whose sum equals to k. Basically, in the array, like example, the subarray here 1 1. So 1 1 equals to 2, right? So that's one subarray. And then the other 1 1, basically the index at 1 and 2, also sum up to the value k, which is 2. So you return the value 2 output. So you can do this easily by brute force, right? Brute force is basically you start at certain element, look at all possible subarrays, starting at that element, and then see if they sum up to the value k. If they sum up to the value k, then you increment a certain value, a result, which would be your final return value. So this works, but it's basically brute force. You would be looking at all possible combinations, which is off and square. So looking at a better solution, think of how we can. What do we want here, right? We want to see if a certain subarray has a value whose sum matches to k. So in other words, you could also say if sum minus k is equal to certain element, then we found our match, right? So how do we do constant time lookup for these kind of scenarios? You could do hash map. So let's say your sum until now is 1, starting at the index 0. Sum until now is 1, and then you do minus 2, which is basically the k, and c minus 1. Do we have minus 1 in the initial map? Let's store the map values here. No, we don't. So we increment next value. What do we do is we increment the sum to. So sum would be now 2 and minus 2, which is k, and see if we have 0. We don't, but what do we do is we need a 0 and a value 1. Why do we need this? Because if a certain element basically is 2 here, right? We need to consider as a single element subarray. So we need to consider that value too. So we add 0 and 1 first. Since we have this value, 2 minus 2 is 0, we add 1 to the result, which is basically the value in this map for 0. So what do we do next? We increment the sum 3. Wait, so we also put the value sum 2, and then the value is basically 1. So we don't have a value before. So the next sum will be 3, and then do you have minus 2 equal to 1. So you add that value, you enter that value here in the map 3 and 1, and you increment result is 2. So this is how we do it. We use a hash map to do a single pass of the whole array, and this reduces our time complexity to O of n. So let's put this logic in terms of code. All right. So what do we need? We need a hash map. Hash map of integer, and let's call it map of similar type. If you are bored looking at the code, you can watch this video at 1.25 or 1.5x the speed. It helps you just look at the code logic of what I'm doing here instead of looking at the whole video and get bored. Just an idea. All right, we need a sum is equal to 0, result is equal to 0. We need to add put an initial element, which is 0, and the value is 1, right? So now we iterate through the array, I less than nums dot length I plus plus. If the map contains, you know what, let's do sum plus is equal to let's add the value to the sum first. Initially it will be 0, so whatever the value in the nums of I, which is initially 1, will be stored in sum now. So what do we check now? If map contains a key which is of sum minus k, then we do result plus plus. Actually, not just plus plus. We do result plus is equal to map.get of sum minus k. So once we do this, we actually put the value, right? Map.put. So what do? Sum. We can either we can just do this default get or default sum comma 0. So if the value already exists, then you're going to increment the value by 1. Otherwise, you're going to just put 1. So finally, we return the result. So what do we have here? We have a map of integer type. We have sum and result. We initially put 0, 1 to take care of scenarios where single element mapping to your k value. We have traverse through the whole array. We add the value to the sum, and then we check if a sum minus k value exists. If it exists, then we add the result. Let's run and check if it works. All right. So we are looking for 2, and we got 2. Let's submit. All right. 15 milliseconds beats 99% of Java submissions. If you have any questions, please add a comment. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me make more videos. Thank you.